What's good? Welcome back to the Pop-Off Podcast, a conversation show about the Super Bowl. We have the Chiefs and the Niners playing Sunday night. We have Mike Cerroni, as always, my co-host. I'm Ralph Compiano, and we're joined by our two popcorn boys, Jack Turner and Skyler Riesberg. So today's episode, breaking down the Super Bowl, doing spit or swallows, and then, of course, we have our popcorn picks at the end, our favorite little bits of culture. But I just want to start with how are you guys doing? It's been a week since our last pod, or actually a little bit less because we're recording early this week. But I missed you. This is one of my favorite nights of the week now. Cerroni, we're seeing each other in literally less than like 36 hours. Are you getting more and more excited, baby?
Dude, I cannot wait to fucking see your cute little fuzzy face.
It is fuzzy right now.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
bearded.
Waste Management is like Christmas. We're going to have so much fucking fun. This meetup has been well overdue. And yeah, I keep kind of forgetting that it's fucking, fuck, bro, we leave in 2 days.
Yep.
This is going to be before you know it. And we will have a hell of a 3 days. It's going to be amazing.
Little
You
source.
guys are going to need to just upload a bunch of Snap stories so I can just tune in all week, see what's going on, and live vicariously, get my FOMO out of the way by just tuning in to you guys.
Yeah,
So I was talking to Riesberg earlier this week.
Like,
Riesberg said he's like, I'm glad Turner's not going, so my FOMO isn't worse. He was like wishing less fun upon our friend group because he's like,
Man,
I don't
you
want
guys,
my FOMO to be that
The thing is
bad.
with you guys is like, half of fucking Iowa lives in Arizona. Like, you guys should just go. Like, I know more Iowa kids than it's actually it's actually dumb. Like, the amount of Iowans in Arizona is like, it was Stroud's birthday today. Fucking, I know like all your guys' friends, which is just like, it's awesome, but it's just the
Small
craziest
world.
thing because you guys don't know one of my back home friends at all. It's just,
No.
I don't know, I feel like I'm just gonna start telling people I'm from Iowa instead of Rhode Island. And I have enough criteria to back it, for real.
The Waste Management Open being on Super Bowl weekend is just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You get the party of a tournament. You
Christmas.
get the lead into the Super Bowl. Just a wonderful, wonderful tournament. I got a couple picks for everybody here real quick. My winner this week is going to be Cam Young, plus 3,300. And then a long shot, Daniel Berger. DB straight vibing, one of my all-time favorite golfers. Has been off the tour for the last year and a half, 2 years.
I love the golf picks.
From a back injury. But, he's always been a TPC Scottsdale guy. So those
Did
are the
you
two
watch
picks I'm bringing in.
the Pebble Beach little tournament, the little pro-am type? I love watching that, like seeing Brady top a ball, all these like like celebs and that's one of my favorite things to watch is when they do that. But they never really cover a lot of it. Golf Channel sucks at that shit.
Yeah, they do.
I
They're
don't know
terrible
what
marketing.
I think they just have a lot of like issues with like the rights and recording and all that stuff. But like it's hilarious to see like Brady and all them. Like Steph Curry's nasty at those tournaments. It's cool to see like athletes cross over, and some of them are nasty, and then some of them are like just awful. And yeah, like Barkley, like all those guys. I don't know if you watched that, but that's awesome. I didn't know you were into golf like that.
Yeah, and I was pretty disappointed that the Pebble Beach Sunday got rained out, so they didn't finish the tournament amongst the pros.
Yeah, dude.
LA's
underwater.
A little bit of a tease for my popcorn pick because I needed some hungover golf more than anything, and had to turn to something else that's going to be my pick for today. Maybe for the wrong reasons, but yeah, Waste Management Open, great tournament, I love it.
Is that always during the Super Bowl?
It is always Super Bowl weekend. Last year was in Phoenix. The Super Bowl was in Phoenix, so like Phoenix as a whole was just mad.
Dude.
That's kind of why I asked.
I remember every celebrity on the United States of America was in Scottsdale. Me and Connor were out. This is actually a great story. Me and Connor, and he's going to love this. I'll make a little post out of it. Me and Connor, high out of our minds, go to 7-Eleven to get some Nerds clusters because that's what you do when you're high out of your mind. Yeah. I open the fridge to grab a Powerade or something, and I grab it and I turn to my right and I look to my right and Connor's like this. Now, well, I mean he's a tall kid, but I was looking down at him and he's looking up like this, like he saw Jesus Christ himself. And I look at him, I go, "What's wrong?" He goes, "It's J.R. Smith." I turn around and J.R. I swear, right hand of God, I'll have Connor. J.R. Smith is on the phone wearing the same Kith jacket as Connor, grabbing like a tall boy out of the thing, and I'm baked as fuck. I don't do well with weed, so I'm like, oh my God, it's J.R. Smith. And this motherfucker, Like, bro, he doesn't look big on the court.
Yeah,
That
he's 6'6".
motherfucker's a furnace. Like, that guy, like, he's not, like, I'm not taking a charge from JR.
He was
Like,
probably
it's
high as
insane.
fuck too, right there.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
the
was
thing.
probably
It's like
big
you
on
guys
his
were
mind.
you guys are spiritually
we're on the
connecting with
same
each other.
page. And I go,
Same
Connor,
jacket.
and usually when we see, like, celebs, like, we saw Portnoy, we saw, like, I'm always the one that, like, I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll go say hi to him. And I'm like, Connor, this is like, you have the same hoodie on, like, go talk to him. But he was on the phone, and he didn't look like some people have, like, inviting vibes. J.R. Smith, not an inviting vibe. He was probably going to stab me if I asked for a picture. Like, if Connor showed up, like, hey, JR, we have the same hoodie on. He's like, man, fuck all, little ass. You know, it wasn't that inviting. But long story short, yeah, waste management is just there's one place to be this weekend, and it's in fucking Scottsdale, Arizona. So I can't fucking wait.
Can't
You
wait,
take
man.
Scottsdale over Super Bowl Vegas this weekend? I probably would.
You don't understand, man.
question's
Scottsdale
valid.
is like from if you're anywhere in your 20s, just from 20 to 30. I mean, just Scottsdale, you just can't beat it, especially if you like blondes.
I feel like they usually say the opposite. You know, people go there to retire. But I was just there, and there
No,
were a lot
I
of.
get active in Scottsdale.
There was a lot of
retiring
boogers.
is the last thing I do in Scottsdale. We are working. Me and Ralph will be working all weekend.
Posted to the story.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's great.
not
We'll do like
office. Yeah,
we'll do a
not
recap pod and everything like that afterwards. But I do actually have a spit related to not Scottsdale itself, not to waste management, but I'll just save it for
I
that.
have a
But
lot
we
of
got to do
spit and
Super Bowl
swallow stories in Scottsdale.
because yeah, I mean the golf is great, the event is going to be awesome, but the game is what we're here for. And you know, the last week or so, I think we talked about it actually earlier this week with
more
Bordy.
Chiefs talk.
My excitement levels were a little bit diluted like the last week in comparison to previous years. But now that it's Wednesday, when people are hearing this or seeing this, I'm back. Like, I'm ready for this fucking game. I'm ready to roll. The
Yeah, the media
storylines
day
are
stuff and
flowing
all
through
that.
me. Yeah, and that was interesting. I actually wanted to talk about that. So they had like this Super Bowl Monday thing where it's not just Media Monday, but it's like almost like an awards show event where
Oh yeah, they do
They bring
this
all the
every
players
year. It's
together.
our fourth year doing it. Out of the last 5, we're pretty used to it.
okay, so you're used
This
to
is
just
honestly, that was
Yeah,
my
just say
first
it.
time
Yeah,
seeing
just
it.
say it.
I'd never seen like Fred Warner and Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones and Brock Purdy all in the same picture.
It
I
was
was a little
cool,
bit
yeah.
weirded out by that. But I was like, you know what? I mean, they are. But like Chris Jones was so close to Brock Purdy. I'm like, dude, he's just feasting and dreaming and
He wants to
drooling
kill.
about.
He's smelling him.
He wants to teabag him.
Sniffing.
Like that's what
I know,
his
what if
goal
these
is.
teams had beef? They're keeping these guys pretty in close proximity. I could see something in the future breaking out, getting a little spicy.
They
I'd
did
love
that
to
with
see it.
Mahomes and Jalen Hurts last year, though, too. I feel like they usually have the, like, on the podium.
You know, do like a panel. They
Yeah.
bring the kids in. Remember a few years ago, like Tom Brady talking about his dad being his hero, and the media was
Yeah.
just eating that shit
Oh,
up.
that
Oh,
was
that was a
soundbites.
beautiful moment. I
It's
cried.
a
Beautiful.
soundbite. It's soundbite nation, is what it is. They take the
Yeah.
the quickest little like 2 sentences and try and make a whole headline out of it. Like Kadarius Toney, are you a receiver number 1? He says, "Give me the ball, I
Oh,
am.
dude.
The ball, I am."
Yeah, too bad you drop all those passes, stupid.
Yeah, somebody
And
corrected
that's-
them. We're like, you need to catch
Yeah.
the ball first to
Yeah,
get
well,
the ball.
yeah, exactly. He has so many grills, too. Did you see his fucking... Does he play with the grills in? You know what I'm
Man,
talking
he's the
about?
man.
He plays with the
He's
He's
grills.
not, though. He's really not. He's not the man at all. He's
Hey, he
probably
made
the
some good
farthest...
catches last year in the playoffs for the Chiefs. Some good
I
Super
don't
Bowl
think that's
catches.
true,
I hope
but
he gets
can we
get a
fact
one
check on
big
that?
one. He just upsets
Touchdown in
us.
the Super Bowl last year, 60-yard punt return in the Super Bowl last year. I mean, KT, always a dog.
Really?
Oh,
He
yeah.
returned a punt?
Huge punt.
I was
Over
probably hammered in
20,
Scottsdale. I
30
didn't see
yards.
that one. But, that, you know.
Wait, was
All
it
right,
a
all
record?
right, then
I think it
I
might have
don't
been
think that happened.
I think it was a record. They made a really big deal about it. Kadarius
Maybe
Toney
on
was
a punt
punting
return?
record.
But the
Wow,
kick return
Kadarius Toney,
touchdown.
65-yard longest punt
Definitely
return
not
in
kick
Super
return.
Bowl
We know that
history.
belongs to Devin Hester.
All right. I stand
You see-
corrected. Sorry, Tony.
But the funny
got-
thing
you
is,
got
the
some
headline
sauce.
right beneath that is Tony's maybe given a chance of redemption. They're already counting him out.
Mm-hmm. They
Is
are
he
counting them out.
playing? Isn't he injured? Or is he
He's
not
probably
injured?
not playing.
Yeah, his ass is getting benched.
I
Poor
don't think he's
Kadarius
been
Toney,
injured
God,
all
man.
year.
Tony.
I was like one of those guys that was a huge supporter of him at the beginning of the year and beginning of last year. because I remember that Giants-Saints game just so vividly. It was like his debut after he was injured for like 5 weeks, and I just remember 13 catches, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it's like, this guy's it was the classic, this guy is a problem. Like he is electric when he gets the ball in his hands. He's just an idiot, and Andy Reid runs a very complicated offense. Turner talked about it with Rashee Rice, where it's like it's really impressive what he's doing, not just as a rookie receiver, but in an Andy Reid offense, which is very complicated. Like, you have a lot of option routes. You have to be able to sit down in zone, read defenses, and he picked it up quick. Rashee, like Kadarius Toney, his dream is just man-to-man defense. I'm going to burn somebody.
That's a great point, Viv, because even
just run straight.
During the regular season, even like when he was playing more minutes or more snaps compared to now, it was still like only 20% of the snap share of wide receivers. He only had a very small package that he would work out of and get a lot of targets out of it, but wasn't making the most of them.
What happened to Sky Moore? Did Sky Moore, is he alive?
He's out for the season as well. Wide receiver number 1 coming into the year. That was a pipe dream for about 2 weeks. Quickly realized
he's doing great.
Yeah, not a great player either, but it's all right. Had a touchdown last in the Super Bowl as well. So always a Chief forever.
Okay, Turner, I want to ask you, which headline do you want to talk about first? We can do it 3 different ways.
Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy.
Okay, we can do that first. That's fine. Cerroni, as somebody who is not from Iowa, doesn't have a familiarity with Brock Purdy at Iowa State, I assume, what is your opinion on this quarterback that is going to be in a Super Bowl and very well could have been in his second Super Bowl in a row if he hadn't gotten hurt last year in the NFC Championship? Okay, so are you a system guy?
No. Fun fact, I was actually at the 49ers game with Phil Giudice when they played Miami and Purdy went in and won that game. And he was going crazy. This guy played it because we're talking about their backup is this guy from Iowa, this, that, blah, blah. And he went in and tore it up. I for a while thought that you could just plug pretty much any white quarterback into that team and
Nick
you'd
Mullins.
be successful. But the come from, the Detroit Lions one was impressive. That shut me up. You got to give it to this guy. I think he's got some, he's got some dog in him. He does. And, he's also super religious, which, those guys always do well. I don't know if it's because of God. Kind of makes me want to go to church. I'm like, who is this God guy? Like, I got to, start a relationship with him because, everybody's doing great. Stroud,
I think it's
Purdy.
a mental thing where you're just religious. You're like, I got God on my side, and when you 100% believe that,
you
like,
surrender.
They
You're
go
like,
in
listen,
there
he's
thinking,
gonna.
like they got somebody on their back. That's
Literally,
God.
like, bro, I literally bought. Where's my? I got a Bible somewhere. I'm like, who is this God guy? I gotta start talking to him because these guys are successful.
They're crushing it. Imagine if you talked to
I'm
God
very-
before every podcast. Imagine if God was a guest on this pod. How many plays it would get? Like, how many people
He'd have
like,
a long
honestly,
talk with me. I'm
We
very
all have
familiar
our
with the
peace
devil.
cases.
Me and the devil have, we speak often.
he might get more plays on a
not
podcast
so much-
too. Honestly, people are
Lucifer?
tapping into that kind of energy a little bit more
Yeah,
than
I
the
feel like the devil's
positivity.
a lot funnier, more sense of humor. That's the thing with the Bible. I'm reading the Bible, and there's no silly gooses in the Bible, which I can't relate to anybody, but just some guy cracking jokes. But I don't even know where this question started. Oh yeah,
Go,
Purdy.
Brock
I think
Purdy.
Purdy. He's got some dog in him. I do believe in him a lot more because a kid like that with not too much experience to come. I mean, down 17 against the line to win that game, to get even against the Packers too, like that last drive. I think he does have what it takes, and I think the 49ers will win this game.
Berg, did this ever seem feasible in your wildest dreams when he was your quarterback for 4 years? He was the starter at Iowa State for 4 years, right? Did you ever see this happening?
All the
even in your
records that are
even in
important.
your wildest dreams, like let's say like you're like the best result possible for Brock Purdy's career when you're high as fuck, junior year on a couch. Like I think that he could play in a championship in the XFL or the UFL with Dwayne The Rock Johnson presenting him a championship trophy.
No chance.
No chance. I didn't even, that wasn't on the wildest dreams radar. Wildest dream was, hey, wouldn't it be cool if he started for an NFL team? And then he did for the 49ers. So it was like, we did it. Iowa State got a quarterback out there because watching him play at Iowa State, as good, we did it. As good as he was at Iowa State, he really wasn't that. He was good for Iowa State. They're not a good football program, and so he really brought some good, changed the culture around. Everybody was really happy to be winning with him. He took us to postseason in college football, and that was fun going to bowl games. But he was never that guy ever that you would think would take this step and make a Super Bowl. So, I mean, Iowa State Nation, Cyclone Nation's fully behind him. We all know who I was probably rooting for, the 49ers, the whole state. But no, not in my wildest dreams did I imagine he'd be starting in a Super Bowl. I think there's a lot that took to happen for him to get there. But, I mean, when we're comparing Ricky Stanzi and Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy has a better postseason than Ricky Stanzi. I think that's wild.
Yeah,
NFL career.
I almost think it's I think he's the real deal. He has NFL arm talent. He moves in the pocket. He makes quick decisions. He makes reads. It makes me question Matt Campbell at Iowa State. What was he doing with him, Breece Hall, Charlie Kohler, that they couldn't, get to 10 wins? But that's besides the point. Purdy, I'm a big fan of him, but I think this is going to be a tough matchup this week, and they're going to need a big performance out of CMC because Chiefs want you to throw the ball. They want you to throw it at their secondary, start making some plays that way. But Purdy's going to have to use his legs. They're going to have to get CMC involved early, and it'll be a good game, good matchup.
He is – I don't know who to compare him to. I don't know if, I guess,
he's kind of Drew Breesy.
I was going to say, middle career Russell Wilson-ish, where he doesn't awe you with his speed or anything like that, but he always seems to just have instincts in the pocket. Definitely more likable than Russell Wilson. But
I feel like Alex Smith is a good comp.
I think he's more talented. I think he might be a little bit more talented than Alex Smith. And Alex Smith was great. I liked Alex Smith. I liked Alex Smith. I'm not underrating Alex Smith here. This is an Alex Smith podcast.
Berg. I think Alex
Smith
was
the 2017 MVP frontrunner at one point.
Alex
okay.
Hang the banner.
Week 4.
Alex Smith was good at using his legs to pick up first downs, but he was never great at using his legs to extend plays to look downfield.
Right.
Purdy keeps his eyes downfield really well when he's extending plays.
And people are giving the offense and Shanahan a lot of credit, but I just him or Jimmy Garoppolo, which one do you actually think is a better quarterback, not just for the 49ers, but just in general? Because they're both gotten this team to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, ironically. But I'm probably taking Purdy because of that agility in the pocket. Also more reliable and probably not going to get hurt, even though the NFC Championship game happened last year. But there's just kind of this element to him where he believes in himself so fully. It's not a false confidence because he's earned it. Go ahead, Turner.
It's God.
The best attribute Brock Purdy has right now. People keep saying, his teammates are carrying him to the Super Bowl in some ways, right? Well, they wouldn't be able to have such a stacked team if Brock Purdy was making less than $1 million a year.
Sure. Right. Last pick in the draft. And also, same draft as Trey Lance. Trey Lance did not turn into this. So that is a credit to Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft versus the third pick in the draft and Trey Lance. This was supposed to be him. And Brock Purdy, against all odds. And at the same time, he went to Iowa State and Lance is from North Dakota State. So it's maybe we just shouldn't overthink these things as much. Don't draft Malik Willis if you went to fucking Liberty. So many of these quarterbacks that play in the NFL now at least played in a Power 5 school. He's a Power 5 guy. I think that the draft, they overthink those kinds of things a little bit. Cerroni, you are unbiased in this regard. This is the thing that I wanted to lead with. But, Turner, I like that you brought up Purdy first. We'll do Mahomes in a second. Let's just ask the simple question because I know where these two guys stand. I know where I stand. Kelce or Kittle?
Oh, Jesus Christ. The stupidest question of all time, dude.
No, we're doing it right now. If you don't want to do it, Riesberg, then give an excuse why not to do it.
Are you saying right now this play over the course of the season?
This game, this season, who would you rather have going into this Super Bowl?
This game.
Kelce.
Kelce.
That's a question?
I mean, yeah, I think, Kelce... Yeah, we kind of talked about there's that little lull in the season. I even had him in fantasy, where he started dating Taylor, and there was the media and the news, and he's dropping passes, and you could tell it's getting to his head a little bit. And he's doing the podcast, but dude, he had fucking 11 catches in the first half against the Ravens. For Christ's sake. just cover the guy. I can't believe I'm still talking about this game. It's
no more Ravens.
It's gonna
no
3
more
years
Ravens.
from now. We're
Don't
gonna be
do it
talking
to
about
yourself,
Kelce
man.
catching 10 balls. But yeah, dude, just very simply, he's been there. He's done that. I like Kittle, but yeah, Kelce is just he's just right now. He's him. He is him. He's dating, his girl's winning Grammys, and he's fucking on top of the world. Like who else would you want to trade lives with than
I
Kelce?
regret asking you this question. God, you're the fucking worst. You're one of them. You're one of them, Cerroni.
I'm a big Kittle fan.
Dude, but that's my honest. I'm not going to come on here and lie and say Kittle. I'd rather have Kelce for this game. I mean, for fuck's sake, the guy, he's a playoff. He's a Super Bowl winner. Yeah, Kittle, he's a dog, but fucking, yeah, I don't know. I mean, dude, Kelce's just so good right now. And he's on top. He's got so much momentum. Fucked. But yeah,
Turner, you've abandoned your alumni, Hawks in the NFL. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I love like the clip of Kittle stuffing a D end and like yelling and giving off a great block. But when has blocking ever been more important than catching the fucking ball downfield? It never has been, ever. Like nobody. If you wanted to focus on good blocking tight ends, then we would be talking about like
Jeremy Shockey.
Mo Alley Cox, dude. I don't fucking know.
But it's not like he's a bad receiver. He's electric when he gets the ball in his hands. He makes ridiculous plays.
Over 11 playoff games, Ralph, he averages 40 yards per game and he has 2 touchdowns over 11 games. Travis Kelce has the most receptions in playoff history. And he can see and read a defense like no other guy. Half the time he's open, it's all because of him. Kittle, on the other hand, unreal talent, unreal blocker, probably the best tight end over the course of this season this year with his durability and being able to play all the games, had a great season. But a lot of that is getting schemed open and being asked to, run into these massive open spots in the field that Shanahan is scheming up for him versus Kelce's just reading the zone defense and sitting down left and right.
I wanted to ask who you think the matchup is actually more favorable for Turner because, we think of the Niners, their defense. The first thing you think of is these cover linebackers and Warner. And Greenlaw's not as good of a cover linebacker, but he's solid. But Warner's probably the best in the league other than Roquan, maybe better in coverage versus Kittle, who's going to be going against. Is Nick Bolton back in this game?
Nick Bolton will be back. Willie Reed is the one that, or Willie Gay was out. Hopefully he's back. Has some skill to build, but we'll probably see Justin Reed out of the safety position matched up with Kittle as much as anybody in coverage.
And he's great. I love Justin Reed.
Love
Good kicker. Matchup. He's got the Ocho Cinco vibe where he just comes in and he can just punt that ball. All right, I'll make the Kittle argument really quick, and I'm not going to waste your time because Riesberg obviously is just urging to just spew some fucking Kelce orgasms. I think that he is... For this game, just for this game, I think that there is an intensity and an energy that's going to come from him that he's already so high. He's already 150% every game that I think that this one means so much to him. And I'm not saying it doesn't to Kelce because I think the thing about Kelce and Mahomes that separates them from everybody else is they're more competitive than everybody else. And they prove that time and time again where push comes to shove, like they are just making every play. And it's not because Kelce's more athletic than anybody. He just wants it the most. But I think that Kittle, you can probably make an argument that if anybody wants it more than Kelce, I think it's him. There's that clip that Cerroni talked about. He's standing on the field. He's manifesting, I will be back here. And that stuff can be corny, but as an Iowa Hawkeye, I love it when my tight ends are saying stuff like that. And I love the blocking. And I don't think that blocking is more important than receiving. I think that if you're to combine the two talents, which is what that position is, I think Kelce is certainly a better receiver than Kittle. But I think that Kittle is the quote-unquote, if it's the traditional tight end position, I'd rather have that guy personally because I'm not always going to have Mahomes. I'm just not. And, you credited Shanahan for the Kittle success. You could say the same thing about Andy Reid and Mahomes. And I know Kelce's sitting against coverages really well, but he learned that from somebody. That's just the way that these things work. He's not doing this by himself. He's doing it with literally the greatest improviser at the quarterback position of all time. Tom Brady is brilliant. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen. But he was snap decisions quick. Mahomes is able to do both of those things where he can be surgical in the short game, but he can also use his legs and point, and Kelce just reads it, and they just have this team chemistry. I'm not sure if Kelce was doing that with Alex Smith at quarterback.
Do you think that Kittle wants this more than he wanted for Super Bowl when they were there in 2019?
I think you have to. Once you lose one, I think Shanahan does too, and Shanahan probably wanted it super bad after blowing a 28-3 lead as the OC for the Falcons. But this is I mean, I would personally.
Yeah, just wondering because I mean, with that passion argument, you just think if he's that passionate guy, he wanted it in 2019 just as bad as you're
100%.
arguing right now.
Well, I'm
The
saying
point
that
didn't make sense. I like Kittle.
no.
I'm not trying
That
to
point.
shit on him right now.
No. Let's shit on each other. Let's do it. Come on.
There.
Hey,
It's good.
here's a little. Kelce's intensity last game. I mean, Cerroni was watching. He was chippy the whole game, getting
I love
people
that.
personal fouls. Kyle
Yeah,
Van
he
Noy
was-
couldn't help himself. He was being a chippy little asshole the whole game. He was.
Oh yeah.
Do your Kelce
All right,
Riesberg. Why do you think
swallow.
he's the GOAT? No, not yet. Come on,
I think
Riesberg.
two-time Super Bowl tight end Blake Bell might be a little more in the argument than George Kittle.
Noah Gray, Blake Bell. We're doing
Noah
the rings
Gray, I was
argument
gonna
now.
say.
Once you resort to the rings argument, that's when you're going to lose me.
Yeah, true.
All right, we got to do Mahomes before we do spit or swallow. Does he immediately become the second greatest quarterback of all time if he wins this game?
Probably,
There's
yeah.
an argument.
I think there's definitely an argument. Montana has 4.
Yeah.
Brady has 6 or 7. I forgot. I think
7.
it's 7.
This is, but I do appreciate this about NFL football. It's like, can we just like the NBA? It's always a list. We got to compare all these greats from this era, from that era. Like Joe Montana was playing a different game. Like Mahomes is obviously going to be the better player because look at how far we've came with just like athleticism and the game of football.
Right.
And then it all comes down to this conversation of greatness and what are we doing? I don't know. It's just it's a tough conversation to have in general, and I like that NFL as a whole is less derogatory in some ways to like previous generations to build up current generations.
Definitely better than the NBA, 100%. And the old guys celebrate the new guys a hell of a lot more. Where Joe Montana and Steve
much
Young
better.
are the first ones to admit, like, I could never do what Lamar Jackson did. Like, we should give this guy more credit. Whereas Charles Barkley's like,
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram's too high to be playing basketball. And it's like, come on, Chuck. Like,
I
you
know
don't got
Paul
to say that.
Pierce Paul Pierce is always talking shit. That little pod that him and KG do.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce
the
hates
clips are
everybody
hilarious.
in the NBA right now. Yeah, I don't know if that's a bit, but he there's
basketball's
no
just toxic,
Paul
and
has no
also
respect for anybody.
he looks drunk in a lot of those clips. Like, we have to say that about Paul Pierce. He always has
I don't know if
sunglasses
he's
on.
mentally good.
I would say that knowing Paul Pierce, he's probably pretty drunk. Why do you think the NFL is a lot less toxic than the NBA, though?
I think the NFL is
NBA
just
is more thuggish.
I don't know. I think it's more of a team sport, more of a gladiator sport. Like you have to kind of the work that everybody's putting in to get out on the field. Like the injuries that everybody's playing through. Versus basketball, there's just so much more ego involved, and that's why those players are typically as good as they are because they have the biggest egos and they have to have that belief. Where NFL, a little bit, you have to sacrifice your ego.
Yes,
to
and I would
become
also
good
say
player.
that the media personalities now in like the NFL, like it's like Ryan Clark on ESPN, who was a safety for the Steelers, but he wasn't Polamalu. It's Shannon Sharp might be like the best football player that became a media personality. Randy Moss is on Monday Night Football, but he's a pretty positive guy for the most part. Whereas with the NBA, it's Shaq, who's one of the 10 best players ever. Charles Barkley, one of the 30 to 40 greatest players ever. And so they have like these platforms, KG, Paul Pierce, who just retired recently, where they are, what they say, I think carries a little bit more weight because of their status in the game versus like, okay, I'm hearing from Boomer Esiason, who was a quarterback in the 90s that I've never watched highlights of. But like everybody's seen a Shaq highlight. So they're like, oh shit, Shaq said something. I have to pay attention to what Shaq said. When on those TNT games, those guys admit to falling asleep while the games are on. And then they watch the highlights and then they talk about it after. Like they're not. But it's like Nate Burleson is one of the biggest media personalities. That guy was like a third string receiver for most of his career. So I think there's a comparison there.
And part of the reason I push back is I already see like shades of LeBron versus MJ that started taking place in like 2008. I swear to God. And we had to just listen to that for now 16 years where we don't even have that conversation anymore. It's been so debated and drawn out. Like, who even gives a shit? Even though LeBron's still putting up, numbers in the league. And I feel like we're just going to get to that point with Mahomes and Brady before we even know it. Like, can we just pump the brakes a little bit? He's got a lot of career left. And we'll start to evaluate it once we've seen more of the full body of work that he's going to put in. It's a fun conversation. There's reasons why Bill Simmons types are drawn to that because they're legacy discussers versus like other people that maybe do a little bit more X's and O's and break down of the game.
Well, let me ask a more specific Mahomes-related question then, because what is the evolution of him? Because I think he's a better quarterback now than he was when he won his first Super Bowl. Is it because like he's taking the easier plays? He's not deep ball hunting. He's like less Jameis Winston now, more Tom Brady-ish. And we don't have to use that name, but more Drew Brees-ish, where he's standing in the pocket and then going out, and he's not always forcing the big play, because that's what drew us to him originally. Like, you remember his, not rookie year, but his second year, his first year starting. It was like, holy fuck, this guy can make every throw. And not only can he, but he will. Like, he'll take the shot. But now it's, we watched that Ravens game. What was the longest reception? Was it the MVS reception? It seems, I'm sorry.
Probably was.
Cerroni. It's like it's a 40-yard ball versus, a 75-yard.
That's also not – yeah, when you have Tyreek Hill,
Sure.
That's a huge part of it. I mean, look at the Dolphins. Tua's throwing the ball fucking 300 yards. I mean, he had to adapt to who he's got, and it worked. And yeah,
Although
does,
to that point,
you have
he
to be
had
better to
Tyreek
adapt
Hill.
like that.
He had Tyreek Hill for his second year too. There was just a lot of regression. It was mostly people figuring him out. He quickly came on to realize that, and I guess I don't know what the point here is, but I think there's a lot of maturity from Mahomes at the end of the day. He's like you were saying, he's not taking that deep shot every time. He's dissecting. He's being a lot more surgical. I think mentally he's a lot more mature. He talked about this Super Bowl versus last Super Bowl. He was in the Bucks when they were trying to back-to-back it, and just the different mentality he's trying to bring to it. I think he's a completely different player. I think he's aged like 10 years and 4.
He got his ass kicked up and down the field so much in that Bucks Super Bowl trying to run around that he was like, we got to change everything. Because this was, I think that game specifically, he ran more yards scrambling than any other quarterback had the whole season, just running for his life.
Running away from Vita Vea, all of those guys.
He was a little
Shaq
dinged
Barrett.
up. Last year he had the turf toe, and I think he's like, football is fucking hard. And what's hard on your body is sprinting around the whole game. If I can learn how to dice it up in the pocket, look how long Brady and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning's careers lasted, because they were able to figure out that part of the game. Like, your athletic ability will start to leave you, but the mental side's what's going to carry you deep into your career.
And to go from one great to another, my favorite version of Riesberg is when he just pulls the Michael Scott meme, and he's like, sometimes I will start a sentence and I don't know where I'm going. I love off-the-cuff Riesberg, just improvising on the fly. That's my favorite version of him. So before we move into Spit or Swallow, I think we celebrate Riesberg, but let's take a quick break. All right. Okay, coming back from the break,
we're going the Clemson part in, please. Please don't do that.
We're going straight into Spit or Swallow. If you haven't listened to this before, if you haven't seen this before, this segment, it's actually the first time we're doing it on YouTube. Spit is very simple. It's something that disgusts us. We hear about it and we spit take. We're drinking water and we say, don't want any more of that. Swallow is exactly what you think it is. It is, give me some more of that. All up in my tummy. I could drink that up all day. Okay? So, who wants to start? I think we go with Turner. I like when Turner starts us off on a positive note.
Yeah.
Let's go Swallow. Riesberg said on the pre-call show that he's swallowing everything, so we'll go to him next. But we got to start with Turner. Give us a good swallow.
Yeah, I'm swallowing college basketball home court advantage. I've been tuning into a lot more college basketball recently, and you know what? It's been fun. The crowds are fired up. They're pumped up. They're excited to be there. We were having a brief discussion about this, but like sometimes the NBA crowds this time of year are a little flat, a little dull. And those college environments just get fired up. The crowd shots and the student sections, specifically a lot of Big 12 basketball. They're probably the best conference this year. And what I will say, so if you look at the home, basically their home records, their top teams in the league this year: 13-0, 13-0, 11-1, 11-1, 12-0, 10-2, 12-2, 12-2. Out of those, like 8 I read, only like one of them has a winning record on the road. It's basically, you go on the road, you die. It doesn't really matter who you are or what you're doing. And so it kind of, it makes for some intrigue. You see some upsets. You see some goofy lines. Some teams are like, that team's not very good. They're not going to beat the top 5 team in the country. Well, they're favored because guess what? They're at home and it's going to get rowdy in there. So that's what we're swallowing this week. I'm just loving everything about it. It's bringing
College crowds are awesome, man. Even in football. We talked about the Michigan-Ohio State. Like, it's unbelievable the passion that college fans have, and it's awesome. It makes the sport so much better. That's a good swallow.
It means so much to them. It's like if their team beats the number 5 team, we beat the number 5 team. Like, because I was there at that game,
And they
like
can
we
party.
beat the team.
Yeah.
And
really
like, where
does
else
make
can
a
you go and
difference.
just like get that wild and let loose? Like, you can't do that shit anywhere else, and it's socially acceptable. People will look at you, and you gotta get the fuck out because you're weird. You're not a normal person. So when you're at these games, dude, it is just like
You've been
I
to
want to go to
Scottsdale?
a game. I want to go to a Colorado State game and just try to blend in and just try to act like I'm one of them and just have the time of my life doing all this shit that's just acceptable to do when you're at home playing a rowdy team.
I was watching the Kansas State-Kansas game the other night, and Kansas State was at home, and they played swag and surf swag.
Yep, swag surfing.
Surfing.
No, I got
whatever
that
the song is.
Surf and swag.
Yeah,
The Taylor Swift song.
That's how they all looked. Like how I just sounded is how they all looked. Kansas State Ag School. You got a bunch of just guys
Ag
in cowboy
school.
hats and camo hats, and they're just trying to swag and surf. And you're like, these guys you guys look so nerdy right now, but the passion is there, and that's the great thing about those student sections. Like Berg said, nobody gives a damn how they look, but they're on ESPN for a few million people tuning in.
So, all right, I'm not going to play devil's advocate, and I'm not even sure how to articulate this point. I am not anti-college crowd. I love the college crowds. I think I'm a Duke guy, so seeing the camera crazies goes nuts. It's always fun.
Nerds.
And even like being able to go to Hilton all the time, that place is insane. But at the same time, as a basketball purist and fan, I like neutral site locations more because I think it's a better representation of who the better team is. So that's why I think I like March Madness so much, is because, and I think that's why I wish I liked the Vegas tournament so much for the NBA. I love the neutral site. I mean, I like the home crowd advantage, but there's something about a neutral site that I just like more because I feel like we're getting a more accurate representation of who both team is. And I don't know. Does that make me sound like a fucking douchebag?
No, I get your point.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, you go, Mike.
I don't think it's as fun. I would also say that this used to be one of the best parts about the Big 12 that they don't do anymore as the conference has changed and evolved. They used to be the only conference that every team would play each other at home and away,
Right.
which I loved. But now in some of these conference games, you might only get one team on the road, and they don't get a chance to, take them on at home. So when they both had that home and away, I was like, this is a great, you get to see both sides. Like, and who's showing up in the moment? Like, who's ready for that big shot in front of a screaming crowd to just silence them. Sometimes those neutral sites just feel a little awkward if they're a big NBA stadium and they're not filled with people versus you have some of the character that comes along with like the Cameron Arenas, the Dean Dome, Assembly Hall, Hilton Coliseum, all the great college basketball venues.
And I think it makes it a lot more exciting when you have a team that, because, for example, the Big 12, we brought it up. If you lose in your home stadium, home court in the Big 12, that's not good. You're probably not going to win the Big 12. You need to go undefeated. So it puts a lot of pressure on these players at home to win out. And yeah, I think you get your fair share of everything. We're just in conference play right now, but like you said, we just had a whole non-conference. There was a bunch of neutral site games. There were home games, but I mean the crowds aren't as active, but I think you're still getting your basketball purism there. And then like you said, in March you get all the neutral games, but then you also get kind of the flip side sometimes where it's a neutral game but the team's playing 10 minutes away from like their fans are there.
Yeah.
Ralph, I like my neutral site games on aircraft carriers.
Oh, I can't stand the aircraft carrier. It's the worst. When you see the wind affecting the ball, you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is ridiculous.
That
game's more ceremonial than anything.
Form, baby. Outdoors, the hoops.
Is it too simple of a conclusion to draw that if a team plays 18 conference games and let's say they go 9-0 at home and 0-9 on the road, that they're an easy fade in like the NCAA tournament or their conference tournament? Is that too easy of a conclusion to draw, or does that sound fair?
No, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
You should say that, but then you have those teams that just figure it out in March.
Towards the end of the year, a few teams start to rise up and become the cream of the crop, and it's because there's only a few that can like actually go on the road and win, and then also obviously are winning at home too.
Okay, well, thank you for that turn.
There's not
That's
a
good
single
swallow.
favorite this year. I'd say UConn is kind of back at the top of their game.
Yeah,
but I feel like last year's UConn team was better than this year, so I don't know what to make of it.
I mean,
I think this year's UConn team is weirdly way better. They're in a tier of
Really?
their own. It goes UConn, skip a few beats, Purdue, skip a lot of beats, and then everybody else. This
we
UConn
skip
team
the
last
Purdue
year,
beat.
this
The
time
Purdue
they were
beat is
losing
not real.
conference games. People forgot about them.
Edie
There's
makes
just
me
no way
nervous
Purdue
just
ever. Yeah, they're not getting over that
to
hump.
carry
I'm sorry.
through a whole tournament, but
I think they might get over that hump. Edie is a pissed off, big 7-foot dude right now. He's just dominating everything.
Dude, he's
the
like
Big
the
Ten
number
is
one,
no
right?
competition to him. I'm
he's
sure he
the
gets
best player in college
dominated sometimes when
basketball right
games
now.
get a little too physical, but no, Edie's on revenge tour, and this might be the one year that
He's
I
one of
buy
those
into
guys
Purdue,
too. He's been
even though they're
around
so
for
unsexy, so unmarketable.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. How long is what is this? His ninth
It's his
year?
4th year, and he has another
That's
year
got
of
to be a
eligibility.
lie.
Dude,
That's
4 years in
it's like the
college feels like
Timmy
forever.
brothers or the
And he
yeah,
started
dude.
every
It's
year, too, so it feels like he's been around forever.
maybe that's
Ew.
why because he started. It just some of these guys crack me up when March Madness rolls around. It's like, dude, this guy's still in like Timmy, like all those guys, like it's like, is this his ninth year? That's just it is weird how it seems like they've been playing forever, but it's his 4th year. That's fucked.
What pisses me off about Matt Painter too is I saw this just the other day. Next year they have a 7-3 recruit coming in out of Chicago. He's just gonna run it back, dude. He's bringing in another 7-3 guy.
Jesus.
You're not gonna see him his freshman year. If Edie comes back for his senior year, just hasn't beat up on him
No
in
way.
practice for a year. Um,
Senior
God
citizen
damn
year.
it. Yeah,
He'd be going
shit.
for 3-time National Player of the Year. That'd be unheard of. And it'd be to a guy like Zach Edey, of all people. Who, if
Are you
talk to Clark,
swallowing
he's gonna
Zach
get
Edey,
starting minutes in
Riesberg?
the
It
NBA.
sounds like that. It sounds like that's who you're swallowing, Zach Edey. And yeah, he wouldn't get. I
I
don't even know if he would
don't
get minutes in
swallow
the NBA.
Zach Edey.
Straight up. Okay. Well, then what
I
are you
agree
swallowing?
with you as well.
What are you swallowing, Berg? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll swallow. So I have a few things. I'll do this one because I'll do the. So I'm swallowing the Spider-Verse albums in general. I was listening to them today.
Whoa.
They're so fucking good. I need to know who's
Metro.
in charge of that. I need to know the
Metro!
creative behind it. They always have like a Fire Juice WRLD song on there for some reason. Don Toliver on this latest one went hard. Coi Leray too. I mean, these albums should not go as hard as they do. I think they're the hardest albums like that belong to a movie ever, and I don't
Oh,
think they'll ever be touched.
I'm gonna make a great audible.
That was
Before
your
you-
number one movie of
go
2023.
Go ahead, Mike.
So I had literally on this paper, I was gonna go with a different swallow, but what I had first that I crossed out was the Tarzan soundtrack. Phil Collins going dude, that's like a album like cover to cover, one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. I throw on Two Worlds, Strangers Like Me, Trash in the Camp. It's nostalgic. It takes
Trash
you
in the
back.
camp.
I know every word. I sing at the top of my lungs. That I can't believe you said that because that's where I was. It just kind of popped up on my shuffle
And then
this
you'll
week,
be in my
and
heart.
yeah, dude, like I want to dance. That's gonna be like my first dance at my wedding. Like seriously, like it's unbelievable. It's like sometimes movies have these soundtracks where yeah, you think that the albums would never be good, but sometimes they just slap. Like
And
it's
why? Like, I just
crazy.
want to know what was that process where the composer, the director, whoever was just in their bag. They're like, you know what? I know I already got paid. Like, we have the money, but I'm going to do something special for this. And to your point,
I
I'm actually going to concede what I said and agree with you that that is the best soundtrack of all time.
it's
As
so
a big
yeah.
Phil Collins fan, as a big Tarzan lover, I'm with you.
That was my original. I'll do my other one too, but yeah, dude. Just you don't realize what I was saying was you don't realize how much more it makes the movie great when it has a great soundtrack.
100%.
I feel like that's a very underrated. One of the things I always wanted to do was to score a movie, other than act in it. But I just think that'd be so cool. I think it adds so much to the movie, like Rocky and like those movies that have those like classic soundtracks. But yeah, it's Phil Collins. Those songs will come on shuffle every now and then, and it's nostalgic. It takes you right back. It's like sing along. And yeah, they really have no business really going that hard on a movie soundtrack, but when they do, it makes the movie that much better. And yeah, it pops on shuffle and Spider-Man, like those albums are kind of crazy. So yeah, shout out Phil.
Shout
And
out
then
Phil.
my other swallow was I'm swallowing, and along with it seems to be every hot A-list women in the country. I'm swallowing Pete Davidson. This is a little bit over. Obviously last year was his year. Last year was his year, but he just got caught leaving his comedy show in Philly like 2 days ago with Madison Klein or wherever
You're
the fuck
fucking
the Outer
kidding me.
Banks girl.
Another
Yeah,
one?
So
that's who it is.
I don't know
Another
what
one.
this
DJ
guy
Khaled.
Dude, he's got a Derek
is
Jeter
doing.
roster. That's insane.
I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's got a pretty big Peter on him, but like a lot of guys have big pieces and can't figure it out.
Drake included.
But yeah, yeah. But like this, I've never seen a run. I mean, there's no one that this guy hasn't hit. That is unbelievably high. It's unreal that he keeps doing that. And like the thing is, like, I mean, even like when you start to like get that label as like a player or a fuckboy, like girls start to kind of lean away from you because it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna. This guy has that label and just keeps knocking them down. It's you gotta give credit where credit's due.
He deserves it. Fuck it, dude.
And
I
yeah,
give up.
again with him, Madison. It's like, dude, that girl is yeah, she's insanely hot.
He drafted her on the hottest
you know-
TV chicks draft like a week and a half ago.
Yeah. And then you just Petey, just leaving. You just imagine just
Petey.
going to a stand-up show, just crushing, and then leaving with her. It's like, man, what is this guy doing?
Life's
What
not
is he
fair.
saying?
Life's not fair.
What is it? Yeah, some guys just got it all.
We gotta put a
I guess some
GoPro
guys
on him,
just got
like,
it all.
and pick up some of this game because I think
I would- I
all
would
four of
love-
us definitely have game, but what do we got to do
to
that?
be a fly on the wall, man. And it's like, and he's like a good, he's got a good jawline. He's a decent
Oh,
looking
we're going down
dude,
that route now.
but he's
You're
not
really
like Jacob.
swallowing him.
He's not like-
Jesus.
Well, he's not like Jacob. Well, this is what I'm saying though. He's not like Jacob Elordi, where like that guy's the hottest guy ever.
He just
Like,
got in
I don't
trouble
think
too,
Pete
though.
Davidson is.
He just got busted for
He got in
maybe
trouble?
yeah, you guys didn't see this? Oh, okay. I can break
No,
some news to you
for-
guys. Okay, so Jacob Elordi, I think he was in Australia or something along those lines. Hollywood Reporter reported it, and somebody insulted Saltburn, and he kind of went
Petey.
euphoria mode, where he took like it was like a photographer
Oh, boy.
or something like that, and he choked the guy out and threw him against a wall with his hand on his neck. And yeah, there's like
That's beat.
I
Is
feel
he,
like
is
he's
he
not a
juicing up for a
nice guy.
big role? Is he
Is
getting
there a
swole
video?
up for a big role coming up soon?
Well,
Is he a little juiced
in
up?
Euphoria, he plays. I can't remember the guy's fucking name. And if anybody that watches Euphoria,
Nate.
yes, he's
Nate.
evil in that. Like absolutely, just a terrible
Yeah.
person. And I can imagine it because I've seen that show. Him doing that to like a nerd photographer. That's like Saltburn didn't have. Superbad came out in 2007, and that movie set in 2006. He's like, fuck you. That movie rules. It doesn't matter. Saltburn's the best. Like, I'm glad I didn't see him and talk about Saltburn to him.
I mean, I've been interested to we've seen Jacob Elordi like play some of these characters, so I was super interested to see how he would perform on SNL. Because I'm like, I don't think this guy's funny. Like, I couldn't see him as being like a lead rom-com guy. And honestly, yeah, it was a little disappointing performance out of him on SNL.
Yeah, he's just really
I
hot.
did not find him that funny.
He's a dramatic
Didn't really
actor.
seem to have the comedic timing I was looking for. So a little disappointed. I went in there, open eyes, open arms. I was like, I want to see something because I've seen
mouth.
some of his interviews. Decent. Speaking of SNL, Pete Davidson, deals beget deals, baby. Once you get with like Kate Beckinsale, Madeline Klein, she wants to get with whoever got with Kate Beckinsale. Like he's just
Fuck, you're so
once
right.
you get that roster,
Yeah,
Ariana
it's-
Grande's
Kardashian.
ex.
Hey,
Yeah.
Beckinsale's
He's
all
just
time.
knocking him down though, and it's just
deals
like,
beget deals.
Deals
who
beget
else?
deals.
Who's left? Who's next?
I don't know.
There's
Who's
no
next?
one. I don't
Honestly,
know.
though, he's
The Cavender
he
twins. What,
He got a little like he kind of went a little
No,
Cougar
hopefully not.
Nation for a little
Kim
bit.
K?
Kind of went a little older between Beckinsale and Kim K. Then he kind of got really young with Kaya Gerber and now Klein. It's like
Hey, Kaya
the
Gerber
guys-
too?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yes,
I hate this
dude.
guy, dude.
So did
oh,
Jacob
he's
Elordi.
the worst. Damn.
unreal. So I'm swallowing fucking Pete Davidson.
Yeah, the
and,
biggest
and,
dick in the industry.
Phil Collins.
All right, good for you. God, that's terrible. So has everybody done their swallows?
Yeah.
I'm the last one? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm swallowing Jay-Z. And we talked about the Grammys a little bit the other night, but he went up and accepted like a Lifetime Achievement Award kind of thing. And he told the Grammys essentially that they were fucking idiots because Beyonce has the most Grammys of all time, but she's never won Album of the Year. Now Taylor Swift has the most Album of the Year wins of all time for any artist, which is insane, especially when you consider that she has 4 of them. Beyonce doesn't have 1. So I went on a Jay-Z kick this week, and guys, he's the best. Like, he is the GOAT. It's unbelievable. I think I said it to you, Cerroni. We were riding back from the hood one day while we were knocking, and I was like, dude, if we listened to Jay-Z every day and that's all we did, we would go from selling pest control during the day to selling crack at night, and we'd be billionaires by 30. And I still kind of believe that, man. I'm working my 9 to 5 today. I'm like kind of tired. I'm like, what's really going to wake me up? So I go for like a 20-minute walk, and I just put on the Blueprint. Dude, the ruler's back, man. H to the Izzo.
Yeah.
Hove is the absolute god. 24 Grammys, tied with Kanye, I think for like second place all time, something along the definitely the most for a rapper. But I mean, he just talks money every time he speaks. So I'm kind of like on this late 90s, early 2000s rap kick where I'm just bumping Hove and then a little bit of Cameron. And Cameron's kind of like having a renaissance right now. And so I listen to a freestyle of Cameron on Funk Flex, and I'm just, it's like Turner talking about Larry June. Like, I'm trying to get my money up, not my funny up, dog. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy I'm on
how
Hove
much
status.
music,
Mr. Nice Watch.
Yeah, it's crazy how much I realize this. Like, it's crazy how much you don't realize how much the music you listen to affects your day-to-day, like the way you move through days and your goals. And like when I listen to a lot of country, bro, like I get sad and think about girls that don't want me anymore.
100%.
Like, I'm not even, it's unbelievable. Like I catch myself, I'm like, bro, put on some Key Glock, and then I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's make moves, let's make videos, let's kill this audition.
I got home from practice tonight. I parked right outside on
that-
my street. You can see, the Metropolis behind me. I just stood on my corner for 20 minutes. Just stood there, and I was like, yo, what's good? This is my block.
Did anybody
not
come
so-
up?
Just
Anybody
selling
trying
shit.
to it up?
But yeah, dude,
They paid their
it's
respects. They
crazy
paid homage
how
to the
much.
guy.
No, there's no way he ran into anybody, Turner. Is Jay-Z
Yeah,
top
it's-
5
You know
all
what?
time
I
for
wonder
you?
what this
Yeah.
podcast inspires people to do. Sound off in the comments below.
Sound off in the comments below. What's this
Yeah,
pod make you want?
what is
They're like, I don't know, watch porn, beat off, play Fortnite.
I don't think Jay-Z's in my top 5.
Bordy's dumb inspired then, huh?
Yeah, Morty's hella inspired by us. No, I mean, we can do top 5 another time, Berg, but you know my top 5, dog. But yeah, no, I'm just swallowing Hove.
I don't. That's why I asked.
But I kind of want to go into my spit next, too, because it's one of my other goats.
Snake draft. Go backward.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah, it's fine.
the Drake dick pic. I haven't seen it. And I like everybody's
But you
talking
really
about it
want
today.
to.
I saw a glimpse of it. I saw a very blurry image of it, and then somebody
yeah?
like photoshopped an eggplant emoji over it, and it looks big, but like I just thought that Drake was untouchable and that this would never happen. And it sounds like he's slipping up a little bit, and that's my guy, like Cerroni, Turner, Riesberg. We've all done pods. You guys
I'm
have
sorry, but like
all done pods on him
You
with
thought
me.
Drake couldn't slip up a little bit? Adonis was like the first sign. It's no offense to the
But that's
little
different.
homie.
That's a kid, Like he loves that kid. He's cherishing it. He's taking him to Knicks games on a
if you're
Saturday
Drake,
afternoon.
You can't be sending dick pics.
But the dick pic is tough.
You just can't.
That's different. Like he's Snapchatting like somebody, and they're the NDA wasn't signed, or it was, and somebody's abandoning their contract. So I don't know. Like, did you guys see it? Do you guys have any thoughts on Drake's cock?
I just saw the eggplant. I saw the same blurred one, which you kind of think, it's just a dude with like, the phone is in front of his face. It does look like it'd be him, but the way AI works these days and the way like has he spoken on it yet?
He could be. He had. I don't know if it was true that I saw an Instagram story. He was like, "Well, oh shit, I don't even know what it said." It could be a psyop. It could just be a Drake psyop, though. Maybe he's just trying to get this out there. AI'd himself.
Maybe for some.
Hey,
Yeah, but
check
he
out
wouldn't.
this-
He's already
Check
so.
out how
He doesn't
big my
need that.
dick is.
Yeah, it's not like it's a bad
Yeah,
thing for
I
him.
don't
Apparently,
know.
it's enormous. Like I know a girl that posted it, and it was a video of Drake, and he's talking. I think it's on fucking Problems. Who's like this long dick motherfucker, whatever. And the caption was, "This man told no lies." And then the girl that like posted it was like, "Yeah, he didn't." And I was just like, "Damn, dude! Like I wish somebody would leak something
Guys
that
just got
cool
it all,
about me."
man. Some guys just got it all.
I did see the
Him and
video.
Pete Davidson, for Christ's sake.
Oh, Reesberg's on the
He's
video.
got a missile.
He's got a
He's got a
missile.
missile. He's got a huge. You wouldn't expect it. Why does this guy have all these girl problems? Why is he always in his bag, getting all emotional with a rocket like that?
It
Also,
discredits
he's
some of the
got
music. You're like, why is he always so
It
sad?
discredits some of the music a little. Yeah. It's like, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sad, boy. Connected
Suck
with you
it up,
anymore.
man.
Like, who the fuck? Yeah,
It could
suck
be.
it up. Dude.
It could
You're
be a
fine.
whole lot worse, buddy.
Yeah. He's got some of his lyrics were resurfacing today. I forget what
So you
song
saw
it was. I saw it on yeah, I mean I saw it.
Is it bigger than yours?
Dude, it's probably like 8 inches in the video.
Would you probably?
It's as
say?
big as that. It's as big as that can, or maybe bigger. I can't tell.
Yeah, I would say mine's probably as big, not as thick as this, but it's probably as long as this. So, yeah, fuck you, Drake.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
see you
it's
in the
definitely.
club.
I mean, I got no shame on my
Wait
dick.
till I get my hands on Madison Klein.
Wait till you get your hands on a
Exactly.
fake dick
She's
that's
gonna
that
be
big, dude.
unsatisfied.
Because it could be a prosthetic. All right, Cerroni, what are you spitting?
I'm spitting. Oh, okay. So, listen.
Looks at his notes and
I'm
reminds
spitting
himself.
Playboy Cardi.
Oh, all right.
Well, I had a couple. I saw a picture today. Now it's going to start with the fashion for NBA players, athletes, rappers. Some of the shit that they wear these days
It's bad.
are you doing that just for the publicity to stand out? You can't actually want to wear some of that shit. And then there was a Playboy Cardi pic that got posted today of him in this like crop top leather jacket, and he's going onto the bus, so he's reaching up, so his leather jacket went even higher, and he was wearing a thong. I don't
No
know. Am I
way.
the only one that saw this?
Is that real?
It was on a verified account.
Dude, all the rappers.
It was on a
And
verified
it-
account.
it-
that doesn't mean anything in today's day and age.
That's also very true. I'm a verified account.
Yeah,
and I post dumb shit all the time. It was like Our Generation Music, which usually has like
Sure.
it's all legit stuff. But is that a stunt? Is that a bit? Is that something that he actually wears? The outfits are just even with Uzi when he put the diamond in his forehead.
Hard.
That was hard.
If you're like an alien species looking at this Earth, you got to be thinking, what are these idiots
You're
doing?
like that baby Pluto right there.
Yeah,
What are
I was
we
gonna say
doing,
these are
dude?
the
What-
alien species. They live among us, and some of them are just gonna paint their nails. And Cardi got like diamonds in his cheeks, kind of like Uzi. And that's
Yeah.
Cerroni. He can do whatever the fuck he wants as long as he keeps making music
can.
like Hood by Air, Evil Jordan, and this new wave of Cardi that's coming right now. Because if I could swallow that, it's a little bit late to swallow that. That shit is still Turner. I'm bumping it every day, dog. All 5 of them.
But hey,
cracked out on 'em.
just to maybe do that, make the music and just wear
The clothes suck.
boxers,
Yeah.
and not a thong.
I'm a little thrown off by the thong.
I mean,
too.
what are we like? That can't be it's not comfortable.
Dude.
It can't be. I mean, I don't think
I
it's for
think
women for a reason.
get
And
used to
just
it.
like, and is he doing it on purpose to show it, to get just the publicity and people talking about it, and just I'm so different. Like I wear thought like. It's just over the top sometimes with these fits, and I saw that, and that crossed the
Riesberg
line.
was discrediting Drake earlier because he couldn't relate anymore. It sounds like you're discrediting Playboy. 'cause
There
you're
it
like,
is.
"What's
There it is.
wrong?"
What is?
It looks
How can I relate to this
it looks
guy's
like it might
music?
be dry fit or like bulletproof.
No, bro, that's his ass cheeks on the
Or
left and right.
bulletproof? I hope it's bulletproof.
That's
No,
not.
Big Sean's the only one
That's a
with
thong,
bulletproof.
man. I've seen girls wear thongs, and that's
And
what
I
it
got bulletproof
usually looks like.
condoms.
Yeah, it's
So-
not a
So
great
that's
now
what I'm-
look.
that's just me.
That's what I'm spitting.
Oh wait, no.
Um,
Okay, wait. If you zoom in, I think it's the bottom of the vest because it goes over the pant around the waistband, and there's like that little
He's
like.
wearing a bodysuit, dude. Come on.
I mean, I'm not
Oh, you're
excusing it,
right.
but it doesn't go
I mean,
underneath the
maybe.
waistband. But at the same time, the fact that you said he wore a thong, I believed it. because like he is
Exactly.
he's part of the and I'm
That's like
definitely with
if
you on
Russell-
like they wear the worst clothes, like the Rick Owens bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
care about these like fashion shows where people have like things going all the way up here on their fucking collar. Like fuck that. Like show me
It's
something
not wearable.
cool.
Yeah.
It really looks like derelict.
Yeah, it does.
Literally. Like if Russell Westbrook wore a thong like pregame,
Probably has.
I'd be like, yeah, dude, he probably did. Like it's almost believable because half the shit they wear.
He's the goat.
Yeah, man, that's my spit. Just like what are we doing?
This is reminiscent of the Ice Spice thing. Like you're just fed up with this generation, man. Like
let's get back to like the 80s and 90s. Even though I didn't even know what that is because I was born in '96, but. I don't know. It's
Dude,
just
they're
like
probably wearing
it's been a
thongs
little bit too extra. It's been a little bit too extra lately with all this this hippity hoppity stuff.
Okay,
As
is
a-
it
There's a lot going on right
Berg
now.
or Turner? Which one are you spitting first? I can't remember.
I go next
can
because
Oh,
Turner
Snake.
started.
Yeah.
And I'm not spitting anything. I'm just swallowing a bunch of shit. Went
Wow.
snowboarding for the first time this year. Or for the first time ever in my life last week. So I got to swallow that because that's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It pushed me to my breaking point a few times.
You've had a really easy
I
life.
felt
First
like a
world
Navy
problems.
SEAL out there. When they're laying on the beach and the water keeps coming and they gotta deal with that shit. That's what I felt like a few times. It felt that hard, and I was just sitting there, in the ski lodge after 40 minutes going down one part of the mountain, just one part. I couldn't make it 40 feet without having to emergency dismount onto my ass, and so I'm just sitting in there talking to my girlfriend you guys saw earlier, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm taking the gondola right down.
There's
Got in my
some kids in
bag.
Africa without clean water that have to hike 10 miles a day just to drink shit water.
Come on.
And you're just snowboarding, thinking that are you going to claim disability with the VA after this one snowboarding trip?
I'm claiming exhaustion. I was so tired from getting up and down, and then there's also, if you don't know, the mountain you can take different routes down, and so I
Do you
had to
wear
go
thongs?
right.
You wear
but I
thongs too,
needed to
don't
go
you?
left. Where's your snowboarding authority coming from right now? Are you like
I'm a great
Mr.
snowboarder.
Shredder over here? You're a good snowboarder?
I've snowboarded since I was a kid. I tear it up. It's a blast. It's a
I'd love to
privilege
see you
to
start
be
at
able to
26.
snowboard.
It
I
is
want to see you start at 26 and then let me know how it goes.
hand up. I would be
It was
terrible
hard
at
as
it.
fuck.
It's gotta be pretty
I can't
tough.
I
wait to
can't
go again.
skateboard. I can't rollerblade. I can't ice skate. And I have good footwork. Like I trust my feet as my foundation. But I'm okay, Turner. You don't have to make that face. I think I have good footwork in the paint when it comes to hoops. But like and I'm a decent
yeah.
dancer. Like I'm not bad at dancing. But like I could not snowboard to save my life. And I don't know if what's harder, is that or skiing?
It's tricky.
I think skiing
So-
They
is
say
easier.
skiing's easier.
Yeah, but
That's what they
snowboarding,
said.
I've done both. Snowboarding, skiing is easier, but like you don't want to be the guy that skis. You gotta be like snowboarding is just a lot more fun. Like you're carving, you're going off jumps. You can.
Dude,
It's a little bit
Scottsdale,
cooler.
this guy sees chicken thongs, he snowboards,
I'm-
I'm,
I'm
all,
the-
dude. And his
I'm the
dick's
sickest
bigger
dude
than
ever.
that canyon,
You guys
I
dog.
want
didn't
to remind
know.
you guys, I did swallow.
I was also
I had
Marine.
a great time. I'm ready to go again. I'm just, I was trying to respect that. I respect the hell out of snowboarders. Maybe not people that grew up doing it. That sounds like it's easy. But people doing it at 26. People doing it at 26, I respect the hell out of
Or
you.
you get a Riesberg. We got
I'm proud
a
of
big,
you. I'm
we
proud
got
of
a
you.
big ski trip coming up here in a
I'll-
couple weeks. You're gonna be skiing or snowboarding.
I'm gonna be snowboarding, and I hope to be doing a lot better.
Attaboy.
I hope I'm not.
Yeah,
holding
get the
hang
people
of it.
back.
Yeah, don't get off that horse,
I'll get
bud.
the hang of it. Yeah.
I'd love to
It was
teach you.
just hard as
I'd love to
fuck
give you a little
the first
lesson.
time.
Yeah, you guys. I
Yeah,
didn't
I'll
know.
come.
I didn't know Turner. You're going on this ski trip. I thought this was just like a whole. So Cerroni, it sounds like we have to crash their ski trip. We're gonna pop up on them, and we're like,
I would love to fucking.
we're having way
Crash
more
that
fun
ski trip.
skiing than
we'll
you
be in
guys.
Vail,
Yeah, you guys are
Coming out to
Wait,
coming
what
out to
state is
Vail.
it in? Fucking
Colorado.
Iowa.
Colorado.
Oh, I'm actually that's there's good snow up there.
Yeah.
End of February. That's where I just was. I was in
Fresh pow?
Steamboat. It was stormy. Not stormy. There was a blizzard going on. Low visibility.
That's the
But I had
best
fun.
time to snowboard is when it's snowing. It's fresh. You're shooting
You know what?
yourself in the foot here.
See, I like that
It doesn't
part,
hurt
though,
when you
but
fall when there's fresh snow.
And I love that part, but everybody kept saying, like, don't get used to this. And so now I'm worried the next time I go when there's not all that fresh powder to
gonna be
just
painful.
Icy.
stop myself. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna
I like your
I think it's gonna be
your
tough.
positivity, Riesberg, about the whole situation. You're
Yeah.
swallowing snowboarding,
Yep.
even after your
I'm
tough
swallowing
time.
it. It was fun. It was a hard time. I'm still sore from it, but I think that says a lot
like
about
David
me.
Goggins.
I'm a slow learner.
Dude.
I'll pick it up though.
Turner, what are you spitting?
I'm
Love
26 years old, learning a new thing.
Good for you, man. Teaching an old dog
That's
new tricks.
aspiration. We should all aspire to be more like you, Skyler. I'm spitting
Don't build me
streaming.
Mm.
I
Streaming?
saw that ESPN, Warner Bros., and Fox Sports are combining to make a new streaming service for sports, basically content only. I'm so fucking sick of it. You need Hulu to watch this, Apple TV to watch that, Paramount
It is
Plus,
dumb.
Peacock, etc. I've heard it all before. It's just DirecTV cable. You guys fumbled the bag. You guys could have made a better product. Could have figured it out. And now here I am. I'm trying to watch BYU Oklahoma today, but I'm also trying to flip back and forth between Baylor, Texas Tech.
Two different apps.
I got to go on to YouTube TV and ESPN Plus. It's just it melts my mind how many different services we have to do.
You know, there's kids in Africa.
And shit, dude. I mean, when you put it like that, sure. But from my couch, when I just want to
No,
be a
it's
lazy,
annoying as fuck.
lazy big ol' ass.
I used to say it too.
Can't
Like
handle
the
it.
best
It's
button
annoying
on
as
the
fuck.
remote was the previous button, where you could just flip back to what you
Oh,
were
yeah.
just watching. That was the most satisfying button in the
glorious.
Yeah, I
world to
love
push.
that button.
Great button, man.
You just
And
go back and forth, back and forth.
Now
every
like,
time commercial, go back.
I have to turn off my Xbox controller so I don't drain my batteries while I'm watching League Pass. And if I want to go back from like one game to the other because I don't want to watch four at once because I really want to lock in on one, then it's just a headache and it's terrible. So I hear your pain, Turner. But when you have to go different apps, that's the worst. All right,
it's
so
so
what are
dumb.
the companies that are merging? I haven't heard this release, so this is news to me.
Fox Sports, Warner Brothers, which would be like TNT,
HBO Max,
CBS,
yep.
and such.
Yep.
And then ESPN.
Jesus.
So it could,
So now you have to buy another monthly.
And that's gonna be like a
what,
$40
$10?
package. No, that's gonna be expensive if it's
Yeah,
all
it'll
of
be
that.
like
For sure.
Yeah,
it'll probably
and
be
we'll
like
buy
a
it
YouTube
because
TV
we have
company.
to.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. We're fucking in a corner here. Sorry, Turner. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. That's all I'm spitting. You know what I am swallowing on the flip side of that is if you're living with roommates or moving in with other people, always be the guy to put your hand up and buy the TV. You're probably not going to live with those roommates forever, but their subscriptions may live on with you forever when you take that TV out of there and move on to somewhere else.
That's a great call. Good
Good
job
man.
out of you.
Good man.
Do you still have my HBO Max, Cerroni? Are we still on that together?
I live at one Airbnb at a time now, so I got nothing. But if you want to donate that to me, I will relog in.
I owe
I'd love
you
to watch
because I think
Entourage
you had
for
the
30th
first
time.
6 months, and I think I owe you ever since then.
Oh,
What
hell yeah.
version
I need
are
to
you
watch
on?
the new True Detective.
Yeah, you could.
Are you
probably
the
skip it.
$15.99 a month, or are you the $9.99 with ads? 'Cause I
HBO
got
Max?
the ads right now. I'm not paying for it, but I'm thinking about switching to $15.99 ads. I want to blow my brains out.
On HBO Max, they have an ad-supported
On
service.
Dude, they have levels to it now. You can get a $9.99 one with ads. I don't know why you'd ever do that. Please pay the $5 extra a month.
Yeah, I don't have
and
any ads.
Just get it with
Oh,
no
yeah.
ads.
What the fuck? Yeah.
That's the
I
only
guess this
service
is more
that
of an
I
ad,
pay for.
but I can't
Like,
out my source. They're still giving me HBO Max. I thank you for that.
I
but
saw
think I'm gonna
recently
keep
that
it.
they were testing out how many people, like, once they do these, upgrades and start to implement the ads, that over like 70% of people just eat ads. They just say, you know what, I'm not doing it. I'm just eating these ads, which I think is crazy to me too. But once you start doing it on every service, you got to draw a line somewhere. Ralph, I'll give you some credit here. You recently bought, I think, a couple movies on Blu-ray. Someone might say that's a weird investment, but God, it is nice to have just movies that you want to watch.
A renaissance man.
At the ready. Those can travel with you, Mike. B&B to B&B. Just a couple here and there. Maybe one rom-com, one action. Just one
I just
comedy.
moved in. I just got 60 blue.
Saving
Blu-ray.
Private Ryan.
I don't have a bed,
Fury.
but I have 84 Blu-ray movies.
And a Blu-ray player.
I've probably
Yeah.
got 60 Blu-rays, somewhere in that range. I'm trying to have my 100 favorite movies of all time all on Blu-ray at some point, and I probably have like 40
That
of
was
them
so
right
much
now.
fun when you would go to the store and buy just a Blu-ray DVD, rush
Sam,
back
this
home,
movie's so
watch it.
Holy shit! Bordy just dropped the Drake missile in the chat.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Breaking news,
Oh,
dude.
that's definitely
Breaking
Drake.
news.
That's definitely Drake.
Rob,
Wow.
all right, give us
Oh.
your live reaction, buddy.
I don't like watching that kind of stuff. That's weird. I'm uncomfortable.
You were asking for it so much.
I was joking. You could tell by the tone of my
I
first
know.
text that that is not my
You're
popcorn
gonna look.
pick.
You're gonna look at it over a tall glass of red wine tonight. Don't you lie to us.
No, it's it looks fake.
Put on some Drake music in the background
Does
too.
it
Huh?
curve left or right?
It curves
Is it zany?
for him. It curves to the right,
kinda
and the video it curves
curves
to the left.
Yeah.
It's a video.
Yes,
about angles?
of him playing
He's
with
just-
it.
he's just-
Right.
He's like videotaping himself and
jerking.
like swirling it around.
In a
Look at
private
it.
jet.
It's in the chat. Bordy just posted
I
it.
don't want to watch. I'll watch it after.
And then
over
there's
glass
a
of red
lyric
wine.
off Spin About You where he says the videos we got ever leave
Mikey.
me going viral or going platinum. You know he's going viral with this.
That is a bar. That is definitely a bar. All right.
Yeah, but it takes on a new weird meaning that we didn't think it would. Now that it's just him beating it.
Yeah. Okay. Popcorn
Like,
picking
who do you
time.
send that to?
Do we take a break
Yeah.
before popcorn picks really quick? I think we should probably take a break. So we'll do that and then we'll get back to popcorn picks. All right, coming back. Now it's time for popcorn picks. I'm gonna do mine first because I'm the most excited about mine. Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Okay.
the final season just debuted Sunday night. Larry David is back for the final time. And, the episode was great. It was good. I think that the last couple of seasons definitely haven't been like season 5, 6, or 7 level, or even season 8 for that matter. But it's still just one of the most reliable comedies of the century. I look forward to every episode. I had forgotten, actually, that Sunday night it was coming out. And it was just kind of a nice little treat. And it's like, damn, man, I really only have 9 new episodes of Larry left before. I don't think he does anything else after this. I think he probably hangs it up. I mean, he's 76 years old. And I know you guys love Curb, Turner, and Berg. I think that you do at least. Cerroni, I'm not sure if it's as much your bag, but it's just the perfect comedy show, and I'm going to miss it so much. And, Leon Black has to be one of the greatest comedy characters ever, just flat out. I mean, everything that he says cracks me up. He's talking to a dog in this most recent episode about how when you talk to a dog, they can't understand you. And it's just that kind of show where, JB Smoove and Larry David can essentially call a dog a fat fucking idiot for like 2 minutes. And I'm just cracking up. And nobody else is pulling those tricks out anymore. And I'm worried about the state of TV moving forward because I look at all of these shows that are coming out and it feels like a lot of the core ones are leaving us. Succession is over. Atlanta is over. Game of Thrones is out. House of the Dragon is in. And I don't think House of the Dragon will ever get to that height. No more Mad Men or Breaking Bad, obviously, for a long time. It's just
Peaky Blinders is done.
Peaky Blinders is done. It's frustrating. And True
Outer
Detective, like
Banks.
each season, True Detective has gotten worse. Outer Banks, I guess.
Stranger Things.
And
No.
yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's just
Hey, we got one more
it's
season
going
of
away.
that.
So
It's true.
yeah, did you guys watch the new episode of Curb? Are you guys locked in on that?
No, I'm
I
going to
haven't
let
seen
it
the new
build
episode
up,
yet.
and then I'll
We'll
fully
get
dive in.
Binge
But
it.
I'm really excited. I mean, dude, it's one of the funniest shows. That show and It's Always Sunny, I'm just so happy those TV shows are still ongoing right now for the time being. I think they're both on their last seasons, though. So, to your point, yeah, RIP. I'm also worried about the state of television because it feels like everything coming out now sucks, and I have to force myself. I'm like, yeah, I like this, but like, do I? Or is it like the best thing out right now?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I like that Larry did the full rollout for the last season too. Like he was on the Today Show, he was doing interviews on podcasts. And he's just an all around funny dude. So I was loving that he was filling up my Twitter feed because I was like, yeah, let's go. Curb's coming back. It's been what, a year and a half, 2 years hiatus.
Yes.
And he's taken other hiatuses before, so you never know. I think people thought Curb was going to be done the first time it finished.
Season 8,
so
yep.
Maybe we'll get like an 82-year-old Larry coming back someday.
I watched
Harold's so fine.
he has been all over social media because I watched how they film it is there's no script.
He gives
just
everybody
goes
a
in
note
there and
card.
tells the director.
Yeah.
He's like and the director's like, what are we doing today? He's, I don't know. Let's just fuck around and figure. That's like for me, that's a dream. God, I would love to do that with just fully in, because you obviously improv a lot of stuff, but like just to have that much freedom, that's got to be so much fun to film that.
You look
I
at
almost
the
got like
cast of
jealous.
characters too, and it's just like you got Jeff Garland, Cheryl Hines, like
Oh, it's
Susie
gotta be
Green as a
such a
character, Richard
fun
Lewis
set.
playing himself, like all these people you already mentioned, Leon Black, JB Smoove, like
Vince
like,
Vaughn.
oh my god, they're just on. They're all so good. It's just they probably could do this in their sleep at this point. They're that good at it.
You know what? Honestly, Cerroni, this would have been your perfect show, man. If you would have just because a lot of guys like started out on the show with a very small role and then they got more roles out of
I
it.
think that
Damn, man.
there'll be another one. There'll be another one. There
Yeah.
always will be.
You can make the next one. How about that?
Yeah, you could be our next Larry
Fuck
David.
it. Why not?
All you have to do is
we got
make
we got a
Seinfeld
good
first.
cast.
Yeah, you just got to make Seinfeld first. That's
Yeah.
it. Find a Jerry.
There's a lot of I think I would fit. Yeah, man, it's funny because like acting now, I see so many things and I get this like anxiety sometimes where it's like, oh my God, I just wish I was in this, like this, I could have done this perfectly or I could have been there, but it's just like, that's how everybody feels coming up. Like you just gotta, there'll be roles.
Dude,
and
I wish
parts
I was
where-
in this is what I say
yeah.
every time Pete Davidson starts dating somebody new. I'm like, Kim Kardashian, I wish I was in that. It's just,
It's never ending.
I feel your pain.
He's not stopping anytime soon, I'll tell you that. He's hitting his stride right now.
Berg, what's your popcorn pick?
My popcorn pick, I'll go with this movie I was talking about a lot over the weekend with this dude. He was a big nerd about it too. I gotta go with a little movie probably from mid-2000s, Brad Pitt, called Troy. They recreate the Iliad. Troy, Brad Pitt plays Achilles, and
Great
he's
film.
just a Greek goddess of a human being, sculpted from head to toe, has beautiful poetic lines in it, and then aside from that is just the most athletic superhuman specimen designed to kill people. I just like the film. I don't know why it resonates with me. I feel like it resonates with a lot of guys for some reason, probably because it's about
You're a lot like
two
Troy.
badass
Riesberg.
war things going on. Well, that's the city. I don't want to be like Troy. They end up getting sacked.
Well, you're like,
Well, he's Achilles in it, right? Brad Pitt plays Achilles. I'm looking at the
I
cast
mean,
right
Achilles.
now, and it's
Oh
stacked.
fuck yeah! I'll take that. I'll take the Achilles comp. And
That's right,
whoever
man.
that girl is, that actress in the movie, I haven't seen her in like anything else, but she's stunning, beautiful, and yeah, great movie. A lot of great action scenes, and it's Brad Pitt at his most stone cold killer. I feel like he
Dude,
shouldn't.
there's that one line where he talks to that little
Well,
kid.
that girl. There's another
the-
girl, but that's that girl too. Helen of Troy. Yeah, what are you saying?
There's that one line in that movie where that little kid, he's about to fight him, and the little kid says something like, he's like, I would never want to fight him because you're gonna die or something. He's like, yep, that's why no one will remember your name.
Mm.
And it's just like the greatest thing it's like, oh, you just want to please somebody after that. It's like, let me go make a mark on this fucking world. Fires me
That's
the
what the
fuck
whole
up, man. That's
movie
why we
is
do movies
basically
right there,
about.
because they change people's lives. It's fucking awesome.
Listening to
And
Jay-Z,
he's talking
watching
the whole
Troy.
time, all he
Can't-
wants is people to remember him
Yup.
forever.
Where's
You guys
Fucking
don't
where's
see the
Mars
movie?
escape the pocket.
It's not streaming.
Where can I watch it?
Riesberg suggested a non-streaming movie. You have to rent it on Amazon
That's
Prime, I'm
right.
sure, for $4.
Rent it. Pay that money. And watch the movie.
We'll
If
do.
you haven't seen it, what are you doing? It's
163
right now in my
minutes long.
Letterboxd top 4.
Yeah, guess I'm not living.
Fury's streaming on Netflix. Greatest fucking war movie ever.
It's directed by Wolfgang
Fuck,
Peterson.
that's a good movie too.
He also directed The Perfect Storm and The Never-Ending Story and Das Boot
Doesn't have, yeah,
and Air Force One.
doesn't have other good movies. He was really in
Oh
his
my God.
bag on Troy.
Dude, David Benoff of Game of Thrones fame wrote it.
Interesting.
Oh, Sean Bean stars in it, and he doesn't die.
Brian Cox, a.k.a. Logan Roy, is in it. Orlando Bloom.
Ooh.
There we go.
Eric Bana.
Sometimes
Doesn't-
Rose
guys
Byrne?
really get around and name actors.
Rose Byrne, that's what I'm talking about. Rose Byrne.
Yeah,
Dude,
Troy's
you've
an
seen
all-time
Rose Byrne
movie.
and other things.
I'm
She's
surprised
in Neighbors. Like, she's all over the
Yeah.
I
place.
know. I just forgot she has so much more sex appeal in Troy. Probably just because she's in Troy next to Brad Pitt and she was younger. But yeah, in what was it? You said Neighbors?
She's really
she
good
kinda
in
plays as, like, a
Bridesmaids.
big bomb.
Yeah, but I love Rose
She's
Byrne. I think she's
funny.
hot. I'm all
But
in
it's
on
just like
Rose
we're
Byrne.
talking two comedians. I'll consider like Brad Pitt a little bit of a comedian. I feel like even when he's doing serious roles, they come off a little humorous. Like Meet Joe Black, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was probably a more
Oh.
comedic role. But I mean,
Yeah.
he killed this serious role. Like I fully believed you are Achilles, and I should fear you through my TV.
Okay. No, I think that's great. Fun fact.
That's my pick.
One last thing on Rose Byrne. She's married to Bobby Cannavale, who's in The Irishman. And I just think it's hilarious
Oh,
that
I see that.
a
Dude,
super Italian dude
that
is
guy
married to
goes
a
to my
super
gym.
British chick. What?
I see him at the Equinox all the time. I swear. That's the guy from The Watcher, right?
Yeah.
He did the. Yeah, I see him at the gym all the time.
Hi, Tanya. Yeah. Is he jacked? He's got to be jacked,
Nice
right?
to know he's.
Now
Yeah,
you're
nice to
fucking
know he's
up.
staying good.
Now he's jacked.
What's the Aziz Ansari Netflix show?
Master of None.
I always think
Yeah.
of him as the chef from Master of None.
Nice. Good pull.
Bob,
He's funny.
the Poppy Slay type.
He's good. Yeah, I like him.
Pick your popcorn, Turner.
Let him know. Yeah. Clip this and show it to him next time you see him at the gym.
I will.
All right, my popcorn
Bobby.
pick could not be like further from Troy as a movie.
That's fair.
I'll set the scene a little bit. Went to a wedding this weekend, out of towner. Friday night, Saturday night, big nights, 8 hours of sleep maybe total. Get back home, shell of a self. No, this is going to go downhill for you. Shell of a self, like can't even really put a thought together. Flipping on Netflix. All right, what do they got here? See this movie in the top 10, Tom and Jerry. I'm like, oh, two classic characters. Let me just throw on all time. Got a lot of love for Tom and Jerry. It's probably gonna be okay. I was reading the title, a modern take on some of your classic favorites. I'm like, they are my classic favorites. I could watch these guys get up to no good. There's a Russell and Tussle, 90-minute movie. Got two more movies in me at least today. So let's just start off with this one. Maybe we'll fall asleep. We'll see what's happening. This is more of like a Colonel pick. Worst movie I've seen in probably 5 to 10 years.
1.9 on Letterboxd on a scale of 1 to 5. I'd never see movies below 2.0 on Letterboxd. 1.9 is insane.
I could not believe what I was watching. So you expect the movie to be about Tom and Jerry, right? It's called Tom and Jerry. It starts off and it's mainly about just human beings living their life in New York. Chloe Grace Moretz is the main character. She wants to get a job. She needs a job. You don't really understand
Don't
why.
like
And then she gets the job. She sucks the job, and she's trying to make up for being at the job. And the whole time, you're just kind of wondering, where's Tom and Jerry? Animated, bad animation in a human world, just kind of living off to the side.
The worst.
Horrible movie. If you're into like a 90-minute, hate flick, sometimes people are into that, just bad movies, then I'd suggest it. Otherwise, I don't know how this made it into the Netflix top 10. A lot of trash makes it on the top 10, but not any that have really eared me or rubbed me the wrong way as much as this one. Gave it 1 star on Letterboxd. I would have given it a half if it wasn't just for, the namesake of Tom and Jerry.
All right, so there's a woman who used to write for Burbs with us. I used to edit her pieces. She's hysterical. She is maybe deeper in movies than I am. She gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd, and this was her review. Plane altitude made me think Tom was kind of hot. Relax. 5 stars because who the fuck seriously rates this movie on Letterboxd? Eat a goddamn vegetable. I miss Katya. She was great. I loved her. Yeah, I mean, just the idea of bringing animation into the real world, that doesn't work after Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They did it once. They did it perfect. Don't try to replicate it. You're not going to do it as well. I remember seeing the trailers for this movie and being like, that's going to be dog shit. And my dad has this thing with movies where he'll either say that's the greatest thing I've ever seen, or he'll never say anything's bad. He'll be like, yeah, it wasn't bad. And that's his worst thing. So when he says it wasn't bad, I know that it's dog shit. He took my little sister to go see this, and he's like, yeah, that it wasn't bad. I'm like, it definitely was fucking god awful. Michael Pena, who you guys compared to Philip Seymour Hoffman last week on the pod, is in this movie. Colin Jost in this movie. Ken Jeong. So good cast for the most part. I like a lot of these people. Lil Rel, but that is Chloe Grace Moretz leading your movie. Riesberg, you said you didn't like her, just flat out on Chloe
I
Grace
don't like her.
Moretz.
I'm out on her. Yeah, it's something about her face and just the way she carries herself. She's not likable or relatable. She just kind of seems like somebody I wouldn't get along with.
I like this take from you. This is good. I like this. Okay.
Do you guys feel the same way? When I see her in something, I immediately eye roll and go, I don't know if I can watch this anymore now. Yeah, that girl, that's the best picture I've ever seen of her. She doesn't look like that
She
in
looks
movies.
hot there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really care about her. I'm not going to go out of my way to see a Chloe Grace Moretz movie. All right, Cerroni, what is your popcorn pick?
My popcorn pick. So something. So I've dabbled in these these episodes a little bit like in years prior, but the past 2 weeks I've been addicted. Like I'm talking like it's on the background right now. It's been on 24/7. Is these actors on actors, these actor roundtables. Now, and I get it,
You
okay?
can feel
Like
like I'm
I'm
inspired today, to be honest.
yeah, I'm acting, an actor here. So I'm going at it from a different approach. I'm trying to learn as physically much as possible. And I've taken classes, I've taken good acting classes, bad acting classes. One of the best ways to fucking learn about how these guys do everything is them just shooting the shit over these actor roundtables. It's so entertaining, but at the same time, also, if you're not in the world of entertainment at all and you're just like a consumer, it's crazy to hear these actors talk about how they formulate these roles, these characters, how these directors, how they work these sets, like all these little tidbits of information about how a movie's made and how it's not made, and their worst experience on a set, their best experience on a set. You got Shia LaBeouf talking about this, you got Timothy Chalamet talking about this, you got Bradley. It's like the coolest fucking thing to hear these guys. It's almost like Ralph was talking about that ESPN series when you would hear Peyton Manning pick apart a play that won a Super Bowl. Dude, to hear fucking Domingo talk about how he prepped for this role and how he changed his voice and took a dialect coach for 2 years. Then you hear fucking all these, Shia LaBeouf talk about Honey Boy and how about he played his own dad and he's shoving these things up his nose and he had to. It's like the craziest thing. Like if you haven't watched these things, and they also have directors on directors. Yep. It's the coolest fucking thing to hear these guys talk about how they make movies, how they get into roles, how they do these roles. Love, hate. And then you also have these guys that aren't with us anymore, these actors that have died, that have you hear them talking about their role. It's just the coolest thing to me, and I've been like addicted to them. Like I'm watching this one right now, how they made Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks. Like it's crazy to hear him talk about and see the behind the scenes stuff. Like it's the cool. I know this is like the world I'm in now, and I'm trying to like prep for roles and learn from it. But like even if you're not in that world, it is, for me, it's the coolest shit to see and hear them talk about how this is done. So I just been like addicted to that and fully bought into that the past couple weeks. It's just been on nonstop.
Yeah, it's
So listening to those. Do you ever feel like the two actors talking like don't like each other or don't vibe? I've watched a few, and sometimes
there
I'm
are
like,
some awkward ones, man.
It's awkward.
Yeah, some work very well. Timothy Chalamet must be on so much Adderall, it's not even funny because he doesn't even let the other person talk. With the guy from Euphoria, the guy,
Jacob Elordi?
Yeah, no, the black guy who helps Rue. What's his name?
Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
Guy, very big at. Yeah, oh yeah, Domingo. When he does one with Jacob Elordi, really good. But Chalamet does one with the guy from Get Out, the black dude from Get Out.
Kaluuya.
And yeah, that guy can't get a word in.
Damn, that sucks. Kaluuya's like one of my favorite people in the world, and like I love Timmy, but I just watched he
must have took a 30 before that, bro, because he can't get a word out.
I think you sent me the TikTok of Austin Butler and Timmy getting interviewed by that guy that we like. He does a really good job interviewing these actors.
Oh, and that guy's the best. I forget his name too.
He's solid.
He's the best interviewer.
I would love to see one of these. Maybe like Michael Pena, Chloe Grace Moretz. Tom and Jerry.
I would actually watch that. That would be enticing.
They're like, do you remember that day in front of the green screen?
Riesberg eat it apart.
Do you remember that day where just Tom was acting up?
Do you remember when we told the director like a little bit less Tom and Jerry in this movie called Tom and Jerry, a little bit more Chloe Grace Moretz?
We got pitched this movie about Tom and Jerry, and we were crushing it so fucking much they just shifted the whole plot, made it about us.
That's brutal. Do you have a favorite one, Mikey? Was it Killian and Margot that did theirs together this year for Oppenheimer and Barbie?
I felt like they didn't like each other that much. I feel like Killian doesn't like anybody in Hollywood, so that's probably why I got. Well,
he's not a Hollywood person.
I feel like he wasn't as with what Margot Robbie was saying. Like he's like cool, but
so one of my favorites is Domingo and Jacob Elordi. And it's funny that you talk about him, I guess, choking someone out because the guy seems so down to earth. Like
He's an
it
actor.
seems like he's
and
like
he's on camera. So
yeah, that's
there is a
yeah,
part of
that's
them
true.
where like they are performing a little bit in these
Mikey, was
ways.
he?
Like you
Emma
expect them to be
Stone
raw.
did one with
Yeah, Emma Stone's is great.
yeah,
Mikey
it's
was Elordi funny at all? No, not
no,
funny
he
guy.
wasn't. He's more of a
Can't have
You know how
everything.
hard it is to be unfunny if you're Australian? You have to go out of your way, dude.
maybe he sucks. I don't know.
He
Maybe
just has
he
this
fucking sucks.
sophisticated voice, too sophisticated. Feels like he comes from a very high class. There's also a Brad Pitt,
Makes
Margot
sense, dude,
Robbie,
looking
and
at that.
Leo DiCaprio roundtable or not roundtable, actors on actors. That one's really good.
Yeah, Chalamet and Scorsese was cool. Like this weird
Oh.
kind of like it's just
They're
so
getting
cool to hear them
Chalamet on
talk.
here a lot.
Yeah. Robert
Yeah,
Downey Jr., the ones with him are always really funny. He's one of the wittiest actors.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think like he could easily do comedic films. But a lot of like and there's just like endless ones. Like the guy who's the guy, the Black Panther?
Chadwick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chadwick
those-
Yeah,
Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. Because I watched a bunch with him, and it's crazy because he's, obviously, passed away, and to hear him talk about a bunch of stuff, and it's just like really, I think everybody would be interested, even if you're not
Mike,
acting or not. It's
if
crazy to
you
hear them go into it.
could do actors on actors, and be across from
McConaughey.
somebody.
McConaughey.
Okay, there you go.
And-
McConaughey or Shia
That'd be
LaBeouf.
beautiful.
Shia LaBeouf does some as well, and you can see it, he's such a crazy dude. For me, my god is McConaughey. If I could take his exact just rom-com, shirt off, abs, get the girl, and then go into serious, True Detective, just the perfect career path.
That's actually a good question.
But
I just watched
I would.
Two for the Money with him in it, and it did really average
Yeah,
movie,
with this-
but awesome McConaughey role.
Yeah,
Turner, who would yours be?
Oh,
Yeah, you didn't have
I don't know.
McConaughey
Riesberg,
ready
do
to
you have one
go.
off the top of your head? Yeah,
I immediately went to
things.
McConaughey. That'd probably be a big go-to, but to go off that, I mean, wow, we all sound like some real white boys. I'd go Brad Pitt. That'd be a fun combo.
Okay, I'm still thinking
Shirtless?
mine.
the shirtless Brad Pitt.
Yeah, we'd both have to be shirtless.
Can I do a
I
director?
would pay to see that.
Can I do director instead of
Yeah.
actor? I would do PTA, and I would want to get under his skin. I'd want to get the coke. I'd want to get PTA back on coke.
How cool would it be just to ask him, like, because I in class there's a bunch of directors that always come in and like really good actors too, and I'm just like itching to ask them everything and anything. Like, do you care about this? How'd you do that? Like, do you want ever like? It's just so cool to like. It's like if you were to interview like an NBA player, like you just want to know every little X and O of like what's going on out there. So I love him.
Maybe
I'm
like
addicted to him right now.
Jussie Smollett, Woody Allen,
Woody Harrelson would be a fun one.
Woody
Amber
Harrelson,
Heard,
yeah.
Amber Heard, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. Harvey Weinstein.
Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. There's a lot
James
of actors
Franco.
that I really like to sit across from.
James Franco's a great
James
one.
Franco.
Yeah.
Seth
I mean,
Rogen would be a fun one. Jonah.
Lordy might fit in that crowd, I guess.
Well, he's
Oh.
fit now.
Okay,
Well,
he's
on
not
that,
that
though, we got
bad.
actors on actors. There's also, have you seen what is it, the round table, the actors round table, where they get a bunch of everybody that was nominated for a Grammy or whatever award.
Yep.
They all sit there and get to talk about it. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
same,
it's awesome.
similar series. Really good.
Well, and they always get
They're
people
also
from
feminine,
different
too.
kinds of movies. Like I remember there was one with Adam Sandler, Robert De Niro, and Adam Driver. It was
Yes,
2019.
that one's awesome.
It's like Uncut Gems, The
That one's so
Irishman,
good.
and Marriage Story. They're all promoting them at the same time. I think Bob Odenkirk might be in it from Little Women, or maybe it's Timmy. I can't remember, but
That's a very good one.
it's just that
I
stuff is
really
great.
think we should normalize just giving out awards and letting people talk about them. Like, I could be like, Riesberg, I think you have the coolest shirt today. And they're like, do you want to talk about it? Like, something along those lines. Just all the time. You know, people laugh at the Dundee Awards.
Yeah.
But
Hype
I
the
think
boys up.
They're great
they're
ideas.
coming from a good place.
Yeah, I wish my office had an award show. That'd be great. But all right, speaking of that, I got real work to do. I got to do tomorrow before I leave for Arizona, and I also need to edit this pod tomorrow. So we need to wrap things up so that way it's a little bit easier on me. But this has been great. We will be back next week.
Good stuff, boys.
Turner and Riesberg will either be 3-time Super Bowl champions in the last 5 years,
Oh God.
or they will be, I don't know, sad. I mean, they're going to be defeated if they are. I have money on the Chiefs. And then Cerroni and I will be together. So this will be great. Thank you guys for listening. We love you.
Super Bowl 58.
We will
Either way,
see you on the
gotta
other
get
side.
the Mitch Holthus quote out.
Okay. Wait, what?
Time for Mitch Holthus quote real quick.
Mm.
All right, win or lose, this is what's going to go on. The Chiefs are still going to be around. So I think it's perfect to do this quote here. This was from the Sports KC radio legendary icon broadcaster. Been doing it for years. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. But you're going to have to deal with the Chiefs. Boom.
All right, on that note, we'll see you on the other
Let's go.
side.
Thanks for letting me get
Fuck,
that out.
fuck the
Shut it
Chiefs.
off.
Fuck the
Good
Chiefs.
night, everybody.
Peace out.
Shut it off. Cut.